everyone. Happy Tuesday. It's Nick here. And this week, what I wanted to do was talk about Shape Visualizer again. And I wanted to talk about how to set it up to maybe fit your project a little better. When we first did the very first video, we talked about how to load the default projects, and all of those screens are 16:9 aspect ratio screens. And if you're anything like me, 9 times out of 10, your project doesn't have 16:9 aspect ratios. And so you have to build something a little custom. But I also know that not everyone out there is a Blender or Cinema wizard. So you're not always sure that you can go in and 3D model everything. So I want to show you how to take care of that using Shape and the basic projects that we've already set up for you. So if we go ahead and take a look in here, what you can see is I've already set up a very basic setup where I have 3 mixes. I have a center screen, a left screen, and a right screen. And I don't want to go over how to set up your mixes this way, but I want to show you how to get your shape project to something like this. So I've used a 3840 by 1080 mix in the center, and then a 540 by 1080 mixes for the sides. So where we want to start is actually going into Shape Visualizer, and I have a new project loaded, but I'm going to go ahead and hit new project. So we're starting from a clean slate. And the first thing I want to do is actually come up to this network button. So what I want to do is, instead of loading any of the old projects, which I know aren't going to help us, I want to actually turn on the network. And what the network will do is allow me to connect to the Shape application anywhere on the network. So if I go ahead and open Shape from Hippo Launcher, what I can do then is actually load one of those default projects and start modifying it to fit my needs. So if I go ahead and hit open, I'm just going to start with the one screen. It just makes things a little simpler. I can copy things around from here. Um, but if I take this screen and I'm going to resize it so it's 3840 1080 aspect ratio, so I'm going to actually multiply the width by 2. I can go ahead and right click and copy duplicate this screen and slide it over and make this like a 0.5 meter width, and that'll roughly be good enough for me. I can right click, duplicate it again, slide it over to the opposite side, and now I've got all of my screens set up. The last thing I need to do is just apply a material to each of these 2 screens to be something different. So I already have the other materials for the other inputs set up. So I've just set the left screen to input 2 and the right screen to input 3. And now, in order to get this over into our visualizer, I could either save it and copy and open it up, that's one way to do it for sure. But the way that I like to do it is actually turn on the network. And then when I do that from my Shape application, you'll notice that a Zookeeper instance pops up. And that's because we've turned on the networking inside of the Shape visualizer. So once I see the Zookeeper pop up, I can then add it to the group. And if I close this and make my Shape application a little smaller, open up Zookeeper, you can see that I've actually got the exact same project that we built in Shape. And so if I move any of these screens around, you can see that updating in real time as well in the visualizer. So a really quick way to work, especially if you've got a very active project and things are changing a lot. The other thing that I want to do is, because we set these projectors up to be a nice clean feed of all of our screens, I want to set that up in my project as well. So I'm going to take these 2 side screens and put them as a child to this parent screen here. And one little trick that you may not have known, if I change the view here to my projector screen view, if I right click on any of the objects that I see and hit fill camera, that screen will now fill the camera that we're viewing from. So I'm going to change my view back to free camera real quick and just slide all of it back a little bit more so that it is in view of my screen camera. And if again I come back to my Shape visualizer just to check, go to screen view, you can see perfectly it's lined up. I can see all my screens from this, and it's just a quick, easy way to navigate back and forth. The last little thing that you may want to tidy up is these green little boxes here. That just shows an active selection in Shape. So just come back to your application, hit escape, and that will clear all of the selection. So there you go. That's the way that you would go about networking into the Shape application, building custom screens that fit your resolution and your aspect ratios to hopefully give you a better heads up view of what's happening on your project. But if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. We'll be back next week with some more tips, and I hope you have a good one. Cheers.